So, I'm walking home right now. Just left work at Albertsons, and I decided to do a little live stream because I've got a lot on my mind right now. Something that just happened today that I wanted to talk about, even if people may not tune in. I just wanted to get something off my chest. And since it's heavily related to dyspraxia, which is something that I try my best to talk as much as I can about on here and on my channel, and well, on my Instagram and on my channel, you know, for anybody who's watching this on either one, because you know, it's one thing to say that you're dyspraxic and to, you know, to talk about it in general terms, but I think it's part of spreading awareness for it is to really dive into the ways that it affects a person specifically in specific areas, like in the workplace. And sadly, anytime you have a job, it has a huge impact on your ability as a performer, you know, as an employee. And I'll tell you, it can be really mystifying sometimes. It can be really tragic, because you want, you know, whenever you have a job, you want to be a good employee. You want to be good at it. You want to, you know, be an efficient worker. You want to be competent. And, you know, us dyspraxics, we tend to work very hard. You know, I mean, we don't dilly-dally most of the time. When we have a job, we show up and we try our damnedest to be, to be as efficient as anybody in that job, and to be part of, you know, the cog in the machine, the part of what makes it work. And we don't ever want to be the kind of person that gets in the way of everything. We don't want to impede on the progress of the workplace and what they're trying to accomplish in the workplace. Sorry, I'm walking past some people right now, so I'm not going to say anything for a minute. So, I'll tell you a little bit about what happened today. Because I could talk about it in a blog, but I just don't feel like typing it out. And plus, I'm kind of behind on what I was trying to do with that, because I lost interest. And people giving me strange looks. Okay, so here's what happened today. So I wasn't supposed to be working today. I was not on the schedule. I was only scheduled for 3 days this week. And yesterday I called up the store and asked to speak to Tristan, the manager of the Drive Up and Go, which is the Albertsons online grocery. And, you know, I didn't want to be a cashier because I was dealing with anxiety, and especially social anxiety. And I remember I used to do the online grocery at Walmart, and I actually enjoyed working there for the most part. I mean, there were definitely problems, and there were definitely huge stressors about that particular job. But as far, you know, and working for Walmart, the corporation itself is pretty sleazy in the way that they run their business practices. But They, by and large, like, the people that I worked with were really good. We all got along really well, and we were a good team. And the management was pretty accommodating as far as my scheduling, and he tried to be accommodating as far as my dyspraxia. He would still kind of ask me to maybe pick up the pace a little bit more, but you know, when I would try to explain it to him, he more or less kind of got it. So but then I ended up having to leave that job because I got sick. And at the time, Walmart didn't do what they do now, which is you can take a leave of absence. It used to be if you had to take an extended period of time off for whatever reason, for medical reasons or something, you pretty much had to quit and then try to reapply later on. But now, people, for any reason, you know, physical, mental, I know a guy who, just for mental reasons, like, he took like 2 months off and then he went back. And that wasn't available at the time, so I pretty much had to quit. And then I tried twice to go back, but I have mentioned before in previous blogs and stuff, I went into detail about it, but basically their assessment kind of screwed me over twice, as it did a lot of other people. About 75% of people who took the assessment. And so I couldn't go back and do what I was doing. Not that it would have been the same, because things have changed, things are different. But, you know, I still go in there, and the management, they were cool with having me back. I mean, they had no problems with me. They liked me. I may not have been the best employee, but like, I wasn't necessarily the most efficient, but I was a good, you know, I was a good guy to kind of mingle with. I mean, they were just cool people. They were chill. Still are when I see them. Occasionally they got on to me for stuff like my pick time, and you know, like I used to clock in and then go to the bathroom on the clock before I, you know, start my shift. They told me not to do that, but yeah. So I requested to be in the online grocery for Albertsons, and so I started like last week. I started training, and the manager guy is like this guy Tristan, and he's like this former, like, I don't know, I guess he's got like a criminal record or something. He's like this, he's youngish, he's like in his 30s it seems, and he's just kind of like, kind of chill, seems kind of a little ghetto. Sweating, starting to get sweat in my eyes. He's a little ghetto, a little trashy it seems. And I'm just like, alright, whatever, you know. But at the first day, he was alright. He didn't seem like he wanted to train, which nobody ever does. Nobody likes to train the new guy. But he kind of expected me to kind of pick it up, you know, right away, which people tend to do. I don't know why, but people aren't very patient. They just kind of like, they'll like quickly explain. They'll give you a crash course, and then expect you to get it up, like, you know, to pick it up like right away and to remember everything the first time around, which, as many of you dyspraxics would know, it's hard to remember things the first time around. Like, we need repetition. That's the only way that a dyspraxic can get by, is by repeating the same things and being shown the same things for a little while, and then, you know, after a while they'll start to get the hang of it. And then it's like training wheels, you know, it's like you need to use your training wheels, you know, for a little while until you start Of course, that's not a good analogy for dyspraxics either, because most of us can't ride a bike. But I guess it fits. So anyway, he, trained me for like a day, and then I came in another day and technically got trained, but we didn't have very many orders, so there wasn't much for me to do. And so I started working there, and there were a couple of people that I met. There was this guy Russell, this big guy, fat guy, very somber, kind of serious kind of guy. He just seemed like he was just apathetic about everything. Just seemed kind of somber, I guess, some kind of solemn kind of guy. And I just I'm not gonna try and and I did one walk, I think my second day, and I did okay, kind of just, they said that my time wasn't too bad. But so what happened today is I got an order. I had to go on a pick walk, and the order was 77 items. So I went on the walk, and they were already, after a while, they were like, one of the guys came up to me and asked me if I was doing all right. And I told him I was having trouble finding stuff. So, because what happened was I would go to the. So the thing was, at Walmart, they always told you where everything was, like specifically. They told you where on the shelf it was, or told you like which shelf it was on, where on the shelf, the ounces, the prices, So it was kind of simple to find. But at Albertsons, and a lot of things are not in the right place. And, I would find the brand, but it would be the wrong size, or it would be the wrong flavor or whatever. So, and then sometimes I would get an item where it would I would scan it and it would say it was wrong. And there was a cayenne pepper, it was this brand, and it was the same ounce. It was 1.7 ounces. It was the O brand cayenne pepper. And it was the right item, right brand, right amount of ounces. Scanned it, said the item was the incorrect item. Anyway, I ended up having to, they call it out of stocking, which is whenever you say that the item isn't there, and then you move on. And again, they're very strict about their pick times. They want you to do it quickly. They don't want you to spend too much time looking for stuff. So I kept that in mind. Sorry, it's hard to get, when this car is coming and it's hot out here, it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. So I apologize for that. Let me try to cross. Fuck. There's this curve, and you can't see anybody coming. When you're walking down there, you can't see anybody come around. So somebody could be coming around, they could just straight up run you over. Anyway, so they call it out of stocking. And at Walmart we call it nil picking, but it's the same thing. And I ended up having to do that with a lot of items because I was just I kept looking for it and I just could not find it. And I don't know if just other dyspraxics can relate, but sometimes it's hard for us to navigate things. It's hard for us to find something. It's hard for us to focus our attention on, and we'll scan through, a row of something, and we just can't find it. It's like we're blind. And we're just well, I know it's got to be on here, but I don't see it. And I really would not see some things. Some things I just really would not, I just could not see it. So didn't want to spend any more time, because there was a girl named Barisa, nice lady, but they were complaining about her because she got their times way down because she was spending too much time looking for stuff. So I was like, well, I don't want to make that mistake. So I decided to so I pretty much just decided to out of stock a lot of stuff. Because what other choice do I have? I can't spend an hour looking for one item when I have like 50 items left. And some of it, I did make a mistake. Some of it was like it wouldn't scan the item right. So when I finished the walk, I went to the guy and he looked at it, he was like freaking out, like, you're not supposed to out of stock this many items. And I said, yeah, but I couldn't find it. And I was getting frustrated. I was like, a lot of the stuff wouldn't scan. And he's just like, he would not believe me. And he started to patronize me. He started to be like, well, are you not able to see it? Are you not able to look? Are you having trouble looking for stuff? And he was just like getting this attitude. And after, like, he had me come with him to try and find the items, and he would scan them, and they would scan for him. Some of it was like mistakes I made because, like, maybe it tried to scan the wrong code, or I made one mistake where I got like onions, and I accidentally grabbed like organic onions. And he said, like, all it takes is for you to just look a little bit. I mean, it's not, and basically, like, it's not that hard. Because I didn't see the sign that said organic. Because I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't actually looking at the sign because I don't know, whenever I am looking for something, I tend to get tunnel vision. And I tend to, zero in on the specific item. So all I knew is that I was looking for onions. And my mind didn't register like, oh, these are organic, and they're not looking for organic. Because, your mind doesn't really think in those terms. It doesn't multi-track like that. It just kind of looks for the one thing, and it tries to find small patterns. So you will miss stuff like that. And so he was having me go around with him to talk about, to try and find these items that I out of stocked. And he just kept on, saying the same thing. It's like, you gotta do that, you gotta do that, and are you not looking for it? I mean, are you just not looking hard enough? And he was just being a dick. And he just kept looking, he just kept putting shoving the, the handheld in my face. Look, and he was just getting this attitude, and it didn't sit right with me. Because he was treating me like an idiot, like people do, and he was treating me like I was lazy. But the worst part of it was, I eventually got to the point where I told him, it's like, look, I mean, I tried to scan it. I know you don't believe me. And he's like, well, it's hard to believe you. And that just did it for me. I cannot accept somebody treating or accusing me of being a liar, because I may be a screw up, and I may be, an impediment to the department, and I may have, I may cause mistakes. But one thing that I'm not is I'm not a liar. I don't lie to people. I'm always honest about everything. And I try to be straight with people because, I want us to be on the same page, and I want us to have some understanding. So I try to be as open and upfront and honest as possible to everybody. And he's just going to straight up accuse me of being a liar, and he's going to treat me like I'm an idiot. So I just told him, I said, look, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to be the guy that just screws up everything for everybody. So I think I'm just gonna go. And he's like, okay, go. And then and Barisa was on a register, and I went up to her and I started talking about, like, told her that I might quit, or that I might not be working with them again. And then she was asking me why, and I was explaining to her, everything that happened. And she said, well, if you want, you can talk to Larry, who's a higher up manager, and he's on vacation right now. He comes back Tuesday. So I'm thinking I might talk to Larry, tell him what happened. I tried a little bit to talk to Tristan about that I had a neurological problem. I didn't use the term dyspraxia because usually whenever I use those specific terms, like, it just gets awkward. Yeah, Tristan, the manager of OGP, he accused me of being a liar because I was making mistakes. And if people want to say, yeah, he's gone. Everybody, I don't know why people just, like, come on here to these live streams and then they just leave. Like, I'm trying not to let it get to me or frustrate me, but it's like, I thought you guys were my friends. I thought you actually wanted to support the stuff that I do. And you're just gonna, like, come on here for a split second and then just go? Like, why even come on here if you're not gonna stick around for more than 10 seconds? Some friends you guys are. Anyway, not that anybody cares. Because I know people don't. I know people act like they care about me and they give a shit about me. But they don't. They pretend. And I don't know, I'm just tired of being Mr. Screw Up all the time. I'm tired of being a liability and trying my best with these kinds of jobs, and every job I do, I just screw it up, and I don't mean to. And I get treated like an idiot, and I get treated like I'm lazy. And I don't know what to do. I can't find a job that works for me. I can't find a job where I'm more comfortable, and I can't get disability because dyspraxia is not recognized as a disability in the United States. And it causes me so many problems with my mental health. My self-esteem, my depression, my anxiety is just, I get dissociated. And it gets worse whenever somebody gets on to me like that. And I don't know why I talk about it. I don't know why I do these things. I don't know why I do live streams, blogs. People don't watch them. People don't care about them. People don't care about me. What's the point of anything that I do? I used to keep it all in, and now I just broadcast it to the world. Because I don't care anymore. I never really had a good reputation to begin with, so if people want to say that I'm this pussy, I'm pathetic, and I'm a loser, you're only preaching to the choir. I know that I talk weird. I know that I don't make any sense. I know that I'm boring. Nothing I say is interesting. I try my best, but my best is far from good enough. I'm heading back to my apartment now. And probably talk to my brother about what happened. I called him after I got off. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I can try and find another job, but what's the point? It's going to be the same stuff. I'm never going to be comfortable. I'm going to get all stressed out. Everyone's going to get stressed out on my, because of me. And they're going to talk about me. They're going to say that I'm like the screw up. It's like, oh, Brandon is so stupid. What's wrong with him? Is he retarded? No, I'm not retarded. I'm dyspraxic. But I can't even count on my fellow Dyspraxics to be around whenever I need them. Can't rely on anybody. Can't even rely on myself. So I'm just going to spend the rest of the day, I don't know, thinking about what happened. And I don't know what's going to happen now after what happened with today at work with Tristan. And I'll tell them about the problem I had. Tell him that he is not very accommodating, and that I'm not comfortable in that kind of work environment. So that's it. That's the end of this video. I don't know what else to say. Bye.